All right, boys and girls, this is Math Message 3-13. This is the last lesson in Unit 3, and then we will be ready to take a test. In this lesson today, we're going to be using all four operations to make equivalent names for numbers. Now think about what some of these words mean. I'm going to use all four operations. We've talked about what the word operations means in math class. We have four operations. We have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So we're going to be using all four of those operations to make equivalent. Think about what the word equivalent means. Equivalent means equal. Equal names for numbers. So let's look at some examples so that you can see what I'm talking about. All right, I want you to look at all of these problems. Tell me something that all of these problems have in common. Go ahead and pause the video and give yourself a minute to look at them. Okay, hopefully you took that minute to take a look at these. And what did you notice? Well, I know that 2 plus 12 equals what? 14, right? 7 times 2 equals 14. 15 minus 1 equals 14. 24 minus 10 equals 14. 1 dozen and 2 more. What is 1 dozen? 1 dozen means 12, right? 12 plus 2 more equals 14. So all of these problems equal 14. So we're going to call them, for this lesson, we're calling them equivalent names for 14. When we do problems like that in this unit, you're going to see name collection boxes like this. It's just a big box, and up in the top left-hand corner, it'll have a number. And inside that box are equivalent names that equal 14. So this is all the different ways that they come up with that makes 14. Now I want you to go ahead and pause the video and see if you can come up with even more ways to make the number 14. Go ahead and pause the video. Okay, I was thinking of being a little creative and maybe doing some money. What if I had 1 dime and 4 pennies? Okay, I would have 14, right? Those sizes aren't really appropriate for, I guess my dimes are even smaller than my pennies in real life, right? I don't know why I made the dime bigger. But a dime and 4 pennies equals 14. I could do base 10 blocks. 1 10 and 4 ones would make 14. Maybe I could draw out a tens frame. Okay, let's see if I can make a tens frame. 1. There we go. And I could fill in a tens frame with, fill 1 completely in. So there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so I could get creative and even draw 14 out in other ways like that. All right, let's look at this next name collection box. All right, so this collection box has the number 18. I want you to pause the video and I want you to go through here and find the ones that do not belong in this name collection box. Go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so when I'm looking at them, I know that 9 plus 9 equals what? 18, so that one's good. Let's look at 10 plus 8. 10 plus 8 equals 18, so that one's good. What about 2 plus 9? 2 plus 9 equals 11, so that one does not work. What about 110 and 6 ones? Well, what is 110 and 6 ones? 110 and 6 ones would be 16, so that does not work. All right, let's look at this array. We've got 3 rows with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in each row. So I've got 6 plus another 6, which is 12, plus another 6 would be 18. That one's good. All right, how about 20 minus 8? Well, I know that 20 minus 2 is 18, so 20 minus 8 definitely is not 18. 20 minus 8 is 12, so that one does not work. What about 18 times 1? We learned that anytime we multiply by 1, the answer is just the other number or the other factor, so that equals 18. How about 2 dozen? We said that 1 dozen is 12, so what if you have 2 dozen? That would equal 24. So that does not work. 9 times 2, 9 groups of 2 or 2 groups of 9, that equals 18. 3 plus 3 plus 3. Well, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 more is 9, so that does not work. How about half of 36? What would be half of 36? If I took 36 and divided it into 2 parts, let's see, I know that 15 and 15 is 30, right? Then I'd have to have another 3 and 3 to make my 6. So 15 and 3 more, well, that equals 18. So this one works. And then how about 110 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones? 110 and 6 ones does not make 18. All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to go to page 96 in your workbook. So if you need to pause the video and grab that page. And I want you to just practice with different ways to make to do these name collection boxes. So in number 1, the number is 20. You're going to come up with at least 10 names or 10 ways to make 20. Remember, you can use addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. You can draw out money. You can draw out arrays. You can draw out base 10 blocks. There's all different kinds of ways that you can do it. Then look in number 2. 3 names do not belong in this box. Cross them out and then write the name of the box on that tag. So look at all of these problems. 3 of them do not belong. Find the 3 that do not belong and then tell me what does go up here. And then in number 3, you're going to write at least 10 names for the number 24. And in number 4, you're going to come up with, it says make your own box. So you're going to write at least 10 names. You get to choose the number. Now, boys and girls, I'm not going to go over this because there are so many different ways that you can do it that might be different from my ways. So you just need to make sure that you double check your work and make sure that each of these do indeed equal the number that they're supposed to equal. Okay, now, how about if you instead of pausing the video and doing this, I'm going to explain a game also that we're going to learn how to play, and then you can go back and do this page. But I'm going to go ahead and explain the game. Today would be a day that we are going to learn a new game called Name That Number. Now here's how this game is played. I love this game. We actually play this game sometimes at my house with my family just for fun. So here's what you're going to need for this game. You're going to need some number cards, and you need to have numbers 0 through 20. So you could just make these cards up on like index cards or even just little scrap pieces of paper. You need 4 of each of numbers 0 through 10, and then just 1 of each for cards 11 through 20. Okay, and then you can play this with 2 to 4 players, and what you're doing is finding equivalent names for numbers, kind of like what we're doing in class today. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to shuffle the deck and you're going to place 5 cards number side up on the table so that you can see the numbers. You're going to leave the rest of the deck of numbers facing down. Then you're going to turn over the top card of the deck and lay it down next to the deck. The number on this card is a number to be named. This is your target number. Okay, and so players are going to take turn, and when it's your turn, you're going to try to name that target number by using the numbers that are in your hand. So let's just look at, I'm going to kind of show you on another sheet here. So let's say I've got my cards here, 0 through 20. I've got 4 of each of 1 through 10 and 1 of each of 11 through 20. I've got them all shuffled up, and I'm going to lay out 5 cards face up. So I'm going to draw some cards here. I drew a 2. I drew a 6. I drew an 8. I drew a 10. Kind of running out of space here. I'm going to draw and put it the other one down here. And I drew a 5. All right, so these are the cards that I drew. Now, I'm going to draw another card. Now, these are facing up. I want to be able to see all of these cards, all of these 5 cards. Then I have a pile over here of the rest of the cards, and they're face down. Okay, so the numbers are down. You're going to turn over just the top card. So when I turn over that top card, I've got a 12. That is my target number. I am going to try to make the number 12. Now, I'm going to use these cards to help me make 12. And I have to use at least two of them, but I can do even more than that. Now, the object of the game is to collect as many cards as you can. The person that uses and collects the most cards wins the game. So I could easily do 10 plus 2. That one's an easy one. That's like a no-brainer. That makes 12. So if I use that, that means I get to pick up the 2 card, I get to pick up the 10 card, and pick up the 12 card, and I get to keep those cards as my score. Okay, so they kind of stay in my pile. Now, I might come up with another way to make 12. And try to use more cards. So I might give myself a little bit of time to think. Now, sometimes we set a timer at home because sometimes my one daughter, she will take forever trying to make the best and biggest number model, and then it just takes us forever to play the game. So go ahead and pause the video, see if there's another way that you can come up with making the number 12. You can use any operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. You can use any combination. You can even put together a couple of them. Go ahead and pause the video and see what you come up with. Okay, so here's another combination that I came up with that lets me use 3 cards instead of 2 cards. So instead of the simple 10 plus 2, I'm going to do 8 plus 6, because 8 plus 6 is 14. And then I'm going to subtract 2. 14 minus 2 equals 12. That's going to let me collect the 8 card, the 6 card, and the 2 card. And that's going to let me have 3 points instead of just the 2 points. Okay, now you can only use each number one time, but you can use as many of these cards as you can. The object is to collect as many cards, so you want to try to use as many as you can. Okay, so that game is called Name That Number. We'll have directions for this game and the little score sheet that you keep. Here's the little score sheet that you can use. So we'll have that on our webpage so that you can check out these directions and print them up. All right, so boys and girls, go ahead and go back. If you didn't already do it, go back to your workbook page. And let's see, your workbook page is 96. And go ahead and fill in these name boxes. All right, that is it for lesson 3-13.